sunny Sunday summer day stakes action here today at the races. Keith, highlighting just a couple things though. Yesterday, before we got off, congratulations to Scotty Wolfendale on his first win as a trainer. That was nice to see.
Very nice, and I think maybe the way in which Simon's Choice got it done on the front end. Battled early, shook clear around the turn, and opened up about 5 or 6 mid-stretch. It was all over. Confidently handled. Like plenty left in the tank to hold sway. I think clear by about 2 or 2 and some change. So that's good. You know, the breeding is there, the family lines, the lineage. So hopefully that's the start of something, of many winners for Scotty Wolfendale.
Absolutely. That was also with Torrealba. Torrealba had 3 yesterday, but Jamie Rodriguez said not so fast pup. Got 4 wins at the end of the card yesterday. So interesting day that we have going on here today, Keith. Of course, we're going to start things off with this early pick 5 in a maiden special weight going 5 furlongs for these straight 2-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 5 on top, and that's going to be Fire Pit in the barn of Guadalupe Preciado. Michael Sanchez gets the call. You have a nice special Keith Fiesel stat for us.
I do. Do we want track conditions? Did we show
oh
those
gosh,
yet or
I'm
no?
sorry. I'm
Fast
so
and firm. It's beautiful out here. Sunny and steamy.
I'm so eager to get into the car today.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, guys.
That's a quick look.
Of course. Very quick. Keith, that track is still holding a little bit of, just a touch of moisture from yesterday, but not bad. How do you think that track played yesterday?
Sped up a little bit. You know, looking at these races, a lot of the horses on the dirt, they were pretty close. Moracho, obviously, in that race was able to control things. We talked about Simon's Choice on the front end. Brazina battled. You know, there was, I think, a 3-pronged duel into the far turn, was able to shake clear and hold on late. But, yeah, you wanted to be fairly close. It looked like turf course playing pretty fair, I thought, all in all. But let's get to the opener. Yeah, scratch the 2. Kitty Sun, interesting early action on this 5 Fire Pit. I'm going to take a shot here with the firster. In for Guadalupe Preciado. I like both of his horses today, coming down from Parks. I think this little stat with the 2-year-old firsters over the last 5 years. Not a really large sample. Preciado does a lot in the claiming and such, but he's trained plenty of good horses. 4 for 20, 20%, 9 for 20 in the money with these 2-year-old firsters on the dirt the last 5 years. Positive ROI, 284, and just kind of looking at this bottom side, True Martha broke her maiden at Los Al, 4.5. Zippy, Speed in the family. Cairo Prince doing okay, 10% with the 2-year-old firsters. Has a half sib by Gervin that did strike a 67 in debut. But that most recent work out of the gate, 46-2. Would love to know if that was really real. You know, when you're looking at these workouts sometimes, I don't trust everything that I see. But a bullet there. Next closest out of a big lot was 2 seconds slower. So blistering around the racetrack. Yeah, I don't know. Money is showing. We'll see. But Tojo's Mojo here for Salzman Jr. ran really good. We got a video, 23-1 in debut. Countered some trouble into the turn. We're going to pick this one up early. Found itself about 4.5 out of it with that trouble. Faster gator, well meant in there. But some early adversity for Tojo's Mojo. Steadied into the turn. We're going to pick this up. Right about there. Got in a little bit tight. That outer horse, a little drift in and a drift out. And kind of reacted there, Barbosa, with Tojo's Mojo. It's going to recover, though. 5 wide, head of the lane, 5, maybe even 6 wide. We can, edit that. Loses a whip here coming past mid-stretch. Right there. Kind of got tangled up, it looked like, with the rider just to the inside. But look at this finish. Very game behind that well-meant faster gator. Second out stat, we know this barn, deadly. Right around 50%. And a strong, strong ROI. I think is going to benefit from that experience. So this firster better be tied on. Tojo's Mojo to move up. Looking at another firster, the 7 Schrader, Callie, that scratched the other day for a tag. Now protected maiden special weight, only a $7,000 purchase. But kin to Bustoff. Bustoff, McMahon had success, ran a few big races. So familiar with the family, topped at a 93. Interesting little move here. And I do think the one, Liam's the Great, moving in the right direction. Second time blinkers, had to work out of a little precarious situation. Kept on willingly last time out. So another one with the experience there. So keep tabs on this first. Or Tojo's Mojo, though I still think the horse to beat in the opener.
There we go, 5, 6, 7, 1, 4.
Uh-huh.
Keith Fusel there in race number 1. Race number 2, Keith, starts your early pick 4. Let's go ahead and take a peek, see what you got going on for us here on this summer Sunday here on a stakes day.
Yeah, $27 for this early ticket. I had some trouble. I mean, I thought this card, all the way through was a little bit dicey, and we had to kind of work through some scratches. So 27, a little more than I like to go at. But here we go, 3 deep, 4, 6, 7, in a really tough race 2. Scratch 1, scratch a 3, still a tough race. 3 deep in the third, 3, 4, and 9. Reassessed price shot here for Preciado. 12-1 morning line, might come down a little bit with the scratches. Race 4. Jamie Ness keeps the 1, playing 1 in, Must Be Love. Irish Warlock, I like his little stalking trip today for Troy Singh. He's got 2 in there. Wrap it up in the 5th. Starts our stakes, the Jamila for the registered Maryland-bred Maryland sired. Spiteful Sis, Hollywood Walk, and 1 silk stocking for a $27 early pick 4 ticket.
There we go. I do listen on days like today when we have some nice races, even leading up into the stakes, which I think our stakes came out beautifully still, and we'll get to that in a second. But Keith, sometimes you just have to play the ticket that way a little bit. So $27, that's still not too bad here for this, and starts in this claiming 20,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Scratches in the 1 and the 3, Keith. That kind of took your top selection out first, and so you go with the number 7, enemy number 9 here with Andrea Chavez.
Yeah, I just think this one popped last time. The number is so. Slower flow, kicked away, but recovered after a slow start. I just think there's a little bit of questionable speed in here, so Corrales, this one stays. He had the favorite. Gonna go here, 8-1 morning line, should come down a little bit, and we talked to the other day. Chavez with Corrales, high percentage, go to ROI, and I think this one can kind of sit back towards the back of the pack, spy the things going on up front. Hopefully things get contested, and this one can ramp it up from the quarter pole home. Frosty Maya, same kind of thing, turf to dirt. Third off of a break has been good for this barn. Another one I think on the improve for a good rider here in Gene Alvello. Molly of Stratford back quick off the claim with a little bump up. Has proven speed. Now the blinkers go on. I think will be thrust into the race early and could take them a long way. Might have to deal with Stormy Midnight just to the outside. Blue Trillion, interesting. We've got Boyce now. Maybe try to change tactics. Boyce Familiar got the maiden breaking score on this one back the day it was claimed, January 14th, sat off of it. Maybe you'll see those tactics today. She's been a little bit keyed up in her races of late.
That's always an angle I like to go for, Keith. 7-6-4-2 there in race number 2, and we are on the turf for race number 3 in this claiming 20,000 still for the girls 3 and up, which have never won 2, but again, this time it's on the dirt, going 5.5 here, second wire. Scratches in the 2 and the 7. Keith, you go with the number 3 on top, and this is reassessed. Guadalupe Preciado, Michael Sanchez. I originally had this horse as my top selection as well.
And it disappeared.
It did.
Man, no faith. Well, we're going to see. I mean, that happens sometimes. Whenever I get off a horse, it comes back, and it comes back to bite me. This is a little bit of a reach.
And it might happen with
number a little light on the maiden breaking score, but first off the claim, barn hasn't been doing great with that. But a little confident boost. It's the breeding that I'm taking a shot with. Nyquist, 15% with the turf sprinters. Bottom side, second dam I'm going back. Grade 3 stakes winner, grade 3 6th place on the turf.
Right.
The mare herself, I think, maybe topped at a lower 70, so taking a little shot. Showed some grittiness on the synthetic. Will be into the race early along with Lady Mosler, who I do think is the horse to beat, even despite the 1 for 25 record. She ran against the right kind. Didn't really take to the synthetic, but back freshened up for Damon. Getting these horses, patience has paid off for this barn. They're one of the best in doing it. I think Lady Mosler will be very difficult on or near the lead.
You also go with Nikki Jolene underneath, as well as with MSA. Sammy Davis, Forest Boys team up again underneath for a nice healthy 5-1 underneath.
Yeah, that one's got a shot. I thought improved dramatically, turning back in distance on the turf, the right kind of rider to measure it and make her run into it. Nikki Jolene been in the 3 in life condition. Now back to the right condition. The 2 in life ran well, just kind of got nipped there late. Took the lead in between horses, got a good inside-out trip. I think we'll fire from just off of it as well.
3-4-9-6 there for Keith Fusel in race number 3. We move on to race number 4. That does start that Rainbow Pick 6. Of course, let's take a look at that ticket. Almost $4,000 coming into that carryover. I go 2 deep in the opener. I press the all button in race number 7. we've got a shortened up field, but I think it's so competitive amongst those horses there in that stake race in the Prince George's County. And then race number 8, I go with the 5 and the 8. And a single on race number 2, and for me it's a bit of a gutsy single, but we'll get to that. $19.20 here.
Yes.
Starts in this restricted allowance here, going 5.5 on the dirt.
But Cal, you got the right kind of price there. 6-1 morning line, going to be still probably third choice in there amongst those, maybe fourth when it's all said and done. But yeah, that's how you get that lone ticket. Knock them out. Yeah.
I'm trying to just set up, but
okay. Race 4?
Restricted allowance 5.5 on the dirt here to start for this first leg of this Rainbow Pick 6. Scratch in the coupled entry 1A Friar Tuck. You go with the number 6 on the outside. This is going to be Irish Warlock. In the barn of Troy Singh, Toriaba, they team up. They've teamed up well so far throughout the past couple of months.
Little speed scratched out of here, Friar Tuck. Still, it's going to be honest. Irish Hero's quick. Had a horrific start last time. Will be into the race early. KK Clock maybe kind of chasing. Must Be Love can lay close enough. But I like the effort of Irish Warlock last time. We saw what Freeze the Fire did coming back when the Open A other than. And Irish Warlock kind of got, remember looking back at that race, there wasn't a whole lot of speed. Got put into the race a little early. Stayed around better than what I thought when battling with that horse at 6-1. His best races, I think, are going to come from just off of it. He can spy it right here. He can get into position. I even think he might have a little bit more tactical speed than Mr. Agent, who just kind of took advantage of it and ran that gaudy number last time, the other Troy Singh horse. But Irish Warlock from just off of it, along with Must Be Love. That's the part that stays in for Ness. Going to have to kind of go out and force the issue. I think Irish Hero is going to go with Robles here. But Must Be Love, a 4-time winner out of 28 starts. You see the versatility. On the lead last time. Can move from just off of it. Nest Barn with 3 winners yesterday.
Yes.
You just can't dismiss them.
No,
going to be a shorter price. I go 6-5, 6-1, 5-4 in here in the 4th.
And let's move on to our stakes action here in race number 5, starting things off with the Jamila 6 furlongs on the turf. To me, makes it very, very interesting, this particular distance over here on the Laurel lawn for the girls 3 and up. Keith, you give us a little bit of a price.
Yeah.
I like this value. 8-1, Spiteful Sis, Renardo Richards, Julio Hernandez. Let's take a rewind and replay back at that last effort on the 27th of June over at Delaware.
Yeah, and sometimes, Cal, you see it. Sometimes horses
If
just
you see
get
it,
to
you
the
see
turf
it.
and they take to it, and they're kind of like freakish. This might be the case. Spiteful Sis, interesting. By Country Day, Pioneer of the Nile Mare, you're looking kind of a little bit of exterior breeding going through everything. But, man, she took off of a quick pace. That start was good up inside of a fast horse. Above the limit is quick. Was able to show that right back tactic workout and kick away on a softer ground. Maserati, just to her inside, I think, is just going to go ahead and go a little bit quicker. Kissed by Fire, exceptionally fast on the outside. Let those two go out, spy it. And I think the extra 8, the way she's finishing up her turf races, this is a step up in class, no doubt. But she just might be this good. We're going to find out today. Lack of Lasix is my biggest concern.
Okay, got it. I like your exacta selection. We come to the same conclusion there in Hollywood Walk.
Yes.
Trombetta, Michael Sanchez, Trombetta on the turf. You just can't shirk away from that one right now.
Really good effort in the very one on the comeback behind his other horse. Futures now came back to win the grade 3 or grade 2. Grade 2 up in New York.
Yes.
Last time out at Monmouth, 9-1, lower odds than Maserati. She got off a little bit awkwardly, a little slow. She was outside, no cover. And then around mid-turn, I just didn't think she liked the course because her and another horse actually took a little bit of a funky step. Like they lost their action briefly, and that was it after that. There was no other interest whatsoever in running. Back to Laurel, where she's got a couple wins over this turf course. I think she's going to get a great trip, able to save ground with those other speeds surrounding her. I think she's going to draft into a great position inside-out trip, and she can grind going to that second wire.
No, you picked it up right away, especially it was a very wet day on that day at Pimlico for Black-Eyed Susan Day. We had a lot of, and that particular, I know exactly what spot you're talking about.
She was big. No, I was talking about Monmouth.
Oh, sorry.
The Monmouth race is where she got in a little bit. She just didn't like it mid-turn around the, say, the 5/16 coming to the quarter.
I remember that.
She was just not comfortable there and showed no interest. But she pops back to that 88 fig she had in the, at Pimlico. Yeah, it could be lights out. One Silk Stocking's interesting. You don't have this one in the mix, but I like the way she's turning back into it's good races out on the West Coast, going 6.5, a little change, a little down, of course. I think this one's good. I like the company she's kept the last two. A little slower flow. Had every reason to kind of maybe flatten the touch. She'll be fired up, loaded to run them down from the 3/16.
Alla Breve underneath Michael Matz, Horacio Caramanos, with that coming off of the layoff, that trip that this one had last time. But you got to like this one at the 6 furlong distance.
Ran better than what I thought in that big field. Yes, has seen the likes of Futures now. A little bit of a price. I don't know if she can win it.
Right.
I think she can get in your exactest tries in Super. Jamila, interesting race. That run into the turn and say to midturn with Maserati, Kissed by Fire, that's going to be interesting.
Super interesting. Well, I have thoughts on that. I'll get to that later on in the afternoon show. We will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of the Summer Sunday Stakes card. We're going to be taking a break from stakes action here in race number 6, that late pick 4 and that jackpot super high 5 in this starter optional 30,000, going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up. Scratch the 1, the 3, and the 4 here for these girls. Keith, you go with the number 6. I Can Run, coming down here to friendlier foes from listed stakes company for Claudio Gonzalez, J. Ron Barbosa.
And Lasix back home, and it's been a while. Maybe she forgot where the winner's circle is. I'm going to try to get her there today. And now a little shorter field, a little bit of speed comes out. But I Can Run some okay tries over this course. And third off a break, I got a little stat here. Last 2 years on the dirt, 6 for 25, 24% with this kind of break going long.
Okay.
She's run against these before. She's finished in front of them, in front of Peyton Elizabeth. I think she's sitting on her top race. A good workout. 1 of 122. Another one, but looks like she's sharp coming down here. Claudio, going to try to get it done. I Can Run. I think still Peyton Elizabeth always laughing, and Carol Girl. They all three like to be fairly forward. They're going to have to vie and get some position. I don't think any one of those wants to let the other clear and relax because they can take them a long way. Hence, I go, I Can Run to make a run into it. Haint Blue, maybe that was an aberration a couple races back with that figure. I'm going to try her right back here. She had no shot with that slower flow last time out. Continental Congress was just able to control it up front.
Yep, nope, it's pretty straightforward there. 6-8-2-7 for Keith Fusel there in race number 6. Race number 7, we get back to stakes action here in the Prince George's County Stakes. 1 mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Now, Keith, with 4 horses scratching in a field of 8, you would say, I don't know. This isn't going to. I think this is such an exciting race here still. With the scratches of the 1, 2, 3, and 5, we still have Forever Super, Hard Spun Reason, the Addison Poor, Highland Chief. Very excited here. You go with Forever Super now on the rail for Mike Trombetta with Michael Sanchez.
I think they're just going to kind of be able to try to get to the front and control it. Forever Super's run some good races, can handle the 1 mile and an eighth, no problem. Good effort with trouble over this turf course in the Henry Clark. It's just I think has a slight tactical advantage over this group. It was hung out, had every right again to not bring that punch at Monmouth Park last time. I think Trombetta, you're looking at the rest of this group. I think he's a little bit quicker. Tries to pop to the front. This will be a nurse, and then it's a sprint home for this whole group from the quarter pole home.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, one that kind of did give a little bit of a finish, Highland Chief, Grand Motion, Georgie Ruiz. Let's talk about the dinner party. Let's look at the dinner party from that effort. 2 back in that 2024 second off of the layoff here for Grand Motion.
Yeah, it's a really good horse. A grade 1 winner's topped out at a 105 buyer for Motion. Real nice horse. A 7-year-old, brought him back to the race. Is 1.5 miles. I like that he's second time back. There it is, right into the turn. Tried to make that little run through a seam. It just squeezed up, and that was it. Trying to recover a little bit softer ground to pick things back up. He just couldn't quite do it. He makes it. He's going to vibe, but I tell you, back now third off of the break, second time at the mile. I like that. I think he goes ahead and shadows. Maybe they'll try to go, but I think he shadows Forever Super, and maybe we get a match race from the quarter pole home. But you've got Hard Spun Reason in there, unbeaten right now on the turf, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah. And man, is he bringing a kick. Worked through a little traffic, got a little lucky to get through with the 5/16 last time. Worked out. This horse has got a finish in him. If he can keep him close, it's going to make him work.
Why not?
And, Addison Poor as well. So interesting field. We'll see if, as I say, pace makes the race. But Forever Super, I think we'll try to take the initiative, and we got to have a real good run from the quarter pole home.
This is gonna be a real, at least 3 of these horses are always going to be horses that are being against each other throughout the turf season. So this is a dynamic that I absolutely love here. As we move on to race number 8 in the Benz Cat. 6 furlongs on the turf, this time for the boys, of course, 3 years old and up. Scratches in the 3, 6, and 12. I thought Woody was going to get in, but they opted to scratch today. Let's talk about the number 5, though. The field kind of opens up, and the shining star of the field is a bit of When I Get to Heaven, Nolan Ramsey, Tori Alba. Let's take a look exactly why in that effort last time out, back right here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, first time for the barn. And this is one that's got experience over this turf course. A couple wins now and a couple thirds out of 5 starts, but really set a great trip. Sitting off the duel, spirited battle going on up front. 21-1, 43-2, works outward and really kicks it in this last 1/8 of a mile. We're going out the extra 16th. You look to pass on his races. He can be positioned up on the lead if need be, and looking at this race, Tis No Clown maybe goes. I thought Johnny Z might even stay in and try to go now as the speed, but powerful finish. Mata, what will he do? He's a horse that's shown speed. He's been shown the ability to rate. Interesting. That first quarter, 3/8 of a mile with these 2 horses. What do they decide to do? But I think When I Get to Heaven, that was super sharp. Given a little bit, I think ample enough time to recover off of that big effort forward a long way in here, along with Mattis spying that one. Tidewater, going great guns right now. I think this is another one. He's proven he's won at the 6 furlongs. Sharp last time. Let him get that covered up trip. He's going to try to lurk in there, top of the lane, and let them take him there, and then try to make that move from the 8th pole home.
5, 8, 7, 10 for Keith Fusel there in race number 8. And we wrap things up here on Sunday and the weekend here on the dirt in a claiming 7,500, a mile and 16th on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratches in the 1, 3, 5. We still have a coupled entry and assembly point in, but you go with the number 4, Working on a Dream. Why not? Bruno Tessori, Georgie Ruiz just missed out last time out. I completely understand it.
He's holding form. He's consistent. You look at his buyers last 3, 68, 69, 67. He's going to be, I think, on the lead or just off of it. An assembly point may try to go ahead and go. That's the part that stays in. But I like his recent finishes. It's good enough. Morning Thoughts, real good. Came back to step up and win that starter for Farrier. I'll take a shot right back, working on a dream. Unfortunately, we're not going to have, unless your 2 gets in there, we're not going to have a whole lot of price to possibly get out in the last. Formal order, I think, back out to 2 turns is going to work. I think, again, though, he might be a victim. He's been a victim of flow. He was definitely last time, but he'll try. No doubt about it here for Billy Campbell. 4-6, 1-8-2 in the nightcap.
Good races coming up here on Sunday for you guys. Also diving into a value play, a particular value play that you have for us, Keith, in race number 2 on the number 7, 8-1 on enemy number 9.
Going to have to step it back up a little bit, but I question some of the speeds in here. You got a hot horse off the claim, Rudy Sanchez, I said that barn. Faded a little bit. I expected that horse to carry a little bit more, but enemy number 9, he keeps this one in with a rider he teams up and scores with at prices. I'll take the shot at an 8-1 morning line.
There we go. Thank you so much, Keith Fusel, for your expertise this weekend, and best of luck to everybody out there for this wonderful stakes day here. We will go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
Go get a little taco and tequila, second floor in the clubhouse.
There we go.
You got it.